Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a very exciting video because today I am showing you all the details of the new S-Class. So this is the 7th generation model, and naturally Mercedes decided to put all the possible technology that we have right now and which they created into this car in front of us. First of all, many thanks to Auto Gašparić for letting me have this car on a test. And if you want to see more, you can check out their website, and you can also go for a test drive if you are an interested buyer. Now this is the new key here, and as you can see we have the gloss black and chrome finish, and this is the unlock button. When you unlock it, you are greeted with the new lights. They are the digital lights. I'll talk about them in a moment. You can also lock it. And then here is the button for opening of the trunk. You can open and close the trunk with the button. Let's start with the design of this new 7th generation model. So as you can see, it is very muscular. It's got the massive front grille, and here you are greeted with a bunch of sensors. Now you may notice this camera. This is something that I'm not a huge fan of. I think they could have maybe hide it somewhere. I don't know. Tell me in the comments. And then the lights. The lights are the digital lights, and they actually can project various things on the road. So for example, the traffic signs or stuff like that, speed limits. And currently that's not available because of the laws, but they are capable of projecting those signs. But what they do is they actually warn you on pedestrians and stuff like that. You can see that in my point of view drive. It's very interesting. And also I do need to mention the new dots here that we have. So you have the, let me just focus here, you have 3 blue dots. That's the way to recognize that this is the S-Class, where on the other model, so the E-Class has 2 dots, and the C-Class, which is coming actually very soon, stay tuned for that as well, it will have 1 dot. So that is the new sign of recognition for the Mercedes models. I also need to mention that this car has the drag coefficient of 0.22, so one of the most aerodynamic cars in the world, guys. And overall, this is probably my favorite spec, because this car needs to have a lot of chrome elements, which this car does, and also black as one of my favorite colors for the cars. This car does have the AMG line, and then you see the more aggressive front bumper, and also look at the wheels. These are the standard wheels for the AMG. So we have the 20-inch wheels. I do love this dual tone. You have the AMG lettering down there, and of course this car is fitted with the Pirelli Soto Zero winter tires, of course, for the winter conditions and for cold weather here in Croatia. Let me show you the side profile of this thing. Now, isn't this elegant? Look at the elegant lines, look at the roof line, look at all the chrome elements. Once again, the chrome needs to be here for a car like this. And since this is the AMG line, you also have this chrome part here. So this side skirt is different on the regular trim than on the AMG trim. And to be honest with you, I don't think that this car necessarily needs the AMG line. So this is one of few Mercedes where I would not necessarily go for the AMG line. Tell me in the comments what are your thoughts. And speaking about the length, 5 meters 18 is the length, and if you go for the long version, so the long wheelbase version, then it is 5 meters and 29. And actually most of the customers around the world go for the long versions because they have their drivers and they are driving at the back. And I'll definitely cover all the interior features for you, and you will see that it's very impressive, and you will understand why they are driving at the back. Speaking about suspension first, the air suspension is of course standard, and one thing that I need to mention is that this car has the rear axle steering. Now you may say Audi has it, other cars have it, even for example Renault Megane RS has it, but on this model the wheels go up to 10 degrees in the opposite direction of the front wheel. So if you are turning like this, then the rear wheels go like this, and that improves the turning circle by 2 meters. So this car with this is optional, has the turning circle of a compact car, so for example of a Mercedes A-Class. So that's really impressive, and believe me, I drove it in the city yesterday the whole night, and it's so easy to maneuver with it. You will only need to be careful in the parking lot when you are next to two cars. Then this can be a bit tricky because you can get close to the other car very soon. Now, the rear of the car, probably the most controversial part of this car. Tell me in the comments what are your thoughts. Now the thing is, we all know this is the new design language from Mercedes, and we do have the horizontal LED lights, but the problem is that a lot of people say that it reminds them of the CLA of the A-Class sedan. So tell me in the comments what are your thoughts on that. And they are connected with this chrome part. Once again, very nice element. S350D, so diesel engine. I'll talk about engines later on. Firmatic, four-wheel drive, of course. We do have the tinted windows on this one. Now, of course, the exhausts are fake, completely fake. And you do have this diffuser sensors, and the camera is here. You don't see it now, but it can pop out and then you see it. And as I already told you, you can open the trunk by just pressing this. There we go. And here you are greeted with 550 liters. That's 20 more than on the predecessor. And yeah, you can fit your suitcases here without problems. Let's see, there's some additional storage space, but not much. I did find the power outlet in here and the LED lights, as well as this hook for your shopping bags. Even though I don't think you will go grocery shopping in an S-Class, but hey, you never know. And then this is one option to close it. You press this, but that's too standard, right? That's much cooler. Do you agree with me? And what is also cool are the door handles. Now they are cool, but to be honest with you, I'm not a huge fan of those. There are actually two reasons. First reason is, for example, when it's cold and you come to your car and it's, covered in ice, I think there could be some problems, in them going out. And the second thing is, so when you enter the car, they stay like this, but then when you are departing, they fold in, but you hear that. And from inside, I don't know, I just don't think they were necessary, that's all. And also, when you want to open the door, a lot of people do this, and that's not the case, so you need to open here. But I do love the fact that this car does have the soft touch. But let me do this. That's nice. Anyway, tell me in the comments what is your opinion on the door handles. I think it's a cool element, but not sure, that they were needed. Yes, the car is more aerodynamic. Yes, the car is cooler, but I don't think they are the most practical thing in the world. So tell me in the comments what are your thoughts on that. And actually, before we enter the car, let me show you the lights. And this is where the switch for the lights is located, and let's check them out. So daytime running LEDs are now turned on, and you will see the 3 dots. So that's the way to recognize the S-Class on the road. You also have this LED stripe here, of course, from both sides. I will try to put an overlay. This looks very cool when you turn it on during the night. You also have some blue elements. And let me actually show you the rear, where we have nice LED pattern here, 3D signature. Once again, when you unlock the car, you have a nice illumination during the night. I will try to do an overlay of that as well. And well, yeah, that's about it when we talk about the exterior design. Time to check out the interior, and believe me, this is something else. And here are the door handles in action. They pop out. You do have the nice Mercedes-Benz lettering. And the doors are huge and very heavy, and materials are just superb. So you have everything in leather, soft touch. These are the lock and unlock buttons, door handle, and this is for controlling of the seats, control of the mirrors, and control for the windows. Door pocket is solid, and you can also open the trunk by pressing this, and the switches for the lights are here. And this is real digitalized interior, and let's check out the details. And this is the view from driver's perspective. As you can see in front of us, we do have the new AMG steering wheel, which is my personal favorite for this car. There's also additional steering wheel, different one, maybe less aggressive. Some people say that they prefer that one. Tell me in the comments what is your opinion. Here we are greeted with 12.3-inch digital cockpit. You have various views, I'll show you that in a moment. And this is the main part of the car, so 12.8-inch touchscreen. This is really impressive, and everything is on touch now. So even the AC controls, which you can see here. Now when you change the temperature, you do it by just doing this up and down. When you put the temperature up, you see that the LED lights flash in red, down, flash in blue. The air blower is here, so you adjust it by pressing it left, right. And yeah, I was skeptical, but this is really easy to use, and believe me, you will get used to it. And if not, you always have the voice command. Lower the temperature.
I'm reducing the temperature to 17 degrees.
So it lowered the temperature, and yeah, it's really easy to use this system because it uses the artificial intelligence. It recognizes your voice, and you can really use it without any problems, unlike some other voice command systems on different cars that are not as good as this one. Anyway, moving on. So I will cover the whole infotainment in a moment, but let's see some of the buttons actually here. So this is the button for the driving modes. You have Sport, Sport Plus, Individual, and the Comfort and Eco. Now you see that you do need to go left or right. You can't go around. I usually drive it in Comfort, as I think this car is made for comfort drive. Moving on. Now this is a very cool feature. So a look at this. This is like a 3D shape of your vehicle, and you can see the ambient, and everything is real. So we have, for example, look at this. Now I will show you the view in reality. What is also cool is that when I, for example, turn on the wheels, this changes as well. I can also turn on the indicator, and you will see that the indicator is turned on the screen as well. You can watch different views, or you can do the auto, and then when you are reversing or maneuvering, this is very useful. Let's go back. Then this is the shortcut for the most important things. For example, head-up display, 3D driver display, ESP, snow chains, race vehicle level, Parktronic, lane assist, bunch of safety systems as well. And you can access it by just pressing this car icon. Hazard lights. Look at this red element inside. This is for the fingerprint, I believe. So there will be, there is a possibility to unlock your car and, register your user, just like you do, for example, with the iPhone. This is to turn the screen off. But this section still, continues to be here. And then you turn it back on by just pressing it. Volume buttons, or should I say sliders actually. And this is in gloss black, so I'm not a huge fan of the gloss black finish here, but I am a fan of this central console. You're greeted with the adjustable cup holders, 2 USB-C ports, wireless charger for your phone, and some additional storage space. Speaking about the storage space, There is a storage space here as well, and quite a lot of it, as well as here, and 2 USB-C ports. Let me show you the glove box. Now this is okay, ordinary glove box, you know, but when we take a closer look, you can see that we do have Mercedes-Benz fragrance, and it's actually a very good one. It is being put in the cabin through the air vents, of course, and it smells very good indeed. Speaking about those air vents, they do have different shape now, so they used to be square shape on the predecessor. And also have in mind that, for example, this car has up to 20 motors controlling the air vents, so that's really impressive. And this car is really, you know, a piece of technology, piece of computer on the road. Really impressive. The bunch of technology that this car has is just out of this world. And let us now go through the infotainment system itself. First of all, the apps, and you notice that when I want to touch it, this all icons turn to me because, you know, it realizes that I want to do something, so that's also cool. And yeah, first of all, apps, you can have the Mercedes Me app, mobile app for your phone, where you can, of course, you know, have various information about your car, and you can also adjust various things. Comfort, so this car does have the massage of the seats. Actually, here you can have 10 different modes of the massage, so that's cool. Seat, you can also adjust various things here with the support. Ambient lights, there are actually 64 available colors, and this whole layout here, the color changes. And it's very impressive indeed. You can have the preset colors. I do love this one. It's the combination of purple and blue. This one is in light blue. And during my night point of view drive, you can see this even better because there was, of course, no light there. I mean, it was dark. Anyway, moving on, let me actually just change the ambient lights to my favorite, which is, of course, blue one. Settings, this car has obviously a lot of assistance systems, and then you adjust a bunch of them here. Vehicle settings, collision notification, dynamic select, and stuff like that. Settings for the lights, for the ambient lights, so you adjust the you know, the brightness and stuff like that, but we're not gonna go through that right now. Let's go to the info. Here you can have different views. One of them is this, so you see the amount of accelerator, or the amount of gas pedal and the brake pedal that you are using, or, you know, pressing. You can have the engine, so here you have the Newton meters and kilowatts, and the consumption. So those are the, you know, options here and the views that you can have. Navigation, this car does have the augmented reality, and I did a special video on that. During the night drive you will see it, but there will also be a special video just for the augmented reality, because this car has a huge head-up display, and when you have the navigation you know, turned on, then you can see the projections in the huge head-up display, and it's a really enjoyable car to drive, especially during the night, because this looks like you are in a video game. I will demonstrate you that in my other video, as I already said. Speaking about this map, it is very responsive. It's got the 3D shape of the buildings, and yeah, well, as I said, the augmented reality is a cool feature of this map. You can also have different color schemes. You can have day and night, and then this changes as well, but let's put it to automatic right now. And if we go back, phone, of course you can pair your phone with the Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Radio, list of stations is here. This is all very responsive, as you would expect, top of the class media. Of course, you can connect your media if you want. And Mercedes Me Stores, huge icon here because this is the future of car industry. You will buy all the extras after you buy the car. This is just the beginning, but believe me, this is going to be the future. Now this 3D signature that you see here, this is for the digital cockpit, so you can have it in 3D. Now unfortunately that is not seen on the camera, but it is pretty cool, and I actually drove the whole night with the 3D because it looks better. Now it's time to show you the views that are available here on the digital cockpit. So this is the how they call it, so exclusive view, where you have the white dials. But as you can see, this also changes the layout, so not just the digital cockpit, but also the whole infotainment changes the layout. And I love the fact that it changes so quickly. This is among my favorites, if not the favorite view, so the sport view. And you have some red elements in the infotainment interface, understated. So this is like the minimalistic view for road trips maybe. And if we go back to the classic view, classic view, this is standard. And of course you can adjust various things inside, but I prefer to have the navigation usually. You can also have only navigation. Then you have a huge navigation screen here, and this is also very impressive during the drive when you have the navigation turned on. Assistance systems, you can have this if you're using the systems, for example, on highway, then you can see the layout and how they work. And that's about it. So this service tells you when is your next service, when do you need AdBlue, whether your engine oil is okay, and stuff like that. So that was the digital cockpit. I can also show you the head-up display. Not sure if you'll be able to see. I think you will be able to see. So this is the augmented reality, but we do need the active navigation for that. So I will show you the standard one with just the speed and the limit. Then here you have the revs. I don't know how much the camera is catching, but you see the revs there. And the minimal screen. This is once again for road trips during the night, for example. Just your speed. And this head-up display is so big that you actually sometimes don't even look at this digital cockpit anymore. You can also adjust different settings for the head-up display. I don't know if you can see that I'm changing it up and down. You can have the eco display. And yeah, overall, and when you turn it off, just a second, when you turn it off, you can see that it just sort of like it folds down. And now it's back on. So I think we covered pretty much the whole, interior on the front. I do love these designer air vents. They look like they came from, well, a yacht or, I don't know, a museum. And sun visor. Actually, the sun visor is very important because there are two sun visors. Let me just zoom out. First one is here for the side sun, for example, and then the second one is here, so you're fully protected. These are the lights. Have this illuminated in the color of the ambient light. And well, yeah, that's about it. Now it's time to check out the rear bench because, well, in this car a lot of people will drive at the rear and will have their drivers driving them. Time to check out the position where a lot of actually owners will be sitting. So this is director's position. For extra, privacy, you can put this sunshade on. And then, as you can see, we do have the tinted windows as well as this shade here. So without further ado, let's step inside and close these doors. And it's so nice with this shades and the view you have on the front, and the amount of space that you have here is just incredible. And it's not just the amount of space that you have here. I mean, I'm 1.87 m and look how much space I still have for my knees, but it's the fact that you do have this tablet here and you can adjust various settings. Let's start with this. So we will close this. And now we have full privacy. Let's, for example, change the ambient lights. That's also possible here. So ambient lighting, you can have a preset option, or for example, turn it to blue, or we go to the multi-color option. Moving on, you can also change the temperature. And then when you change it, this is very cool. Look at this. This is what happens when you lower the temperature, and this is what happens when you put the temperature up. But if you do it up down, you have this, like a disco. Anyway, moving on, you get the point. So this controls various functions. You can also put it in your hand and enjoy. Here is where you have the wireless charger for your phone, and USB ports are hidden actually. Here you have, not sure if the camera is catching it, but we do have USB-C and 12-volt power outlet. They are well hidden down there. And well, yeah, I could get used to being driven in one of these, but I will tell you that I still prefer the front seat. Time to check out what's underneath the hood, and you have a hidden lever and you press it, pull it twice, and there we go. Of course, hydraulic struts are here, and this is the inline 6-cylinder diesel engine producing 286 horsepower and 600 newton meters of torque. 6.2 seconds is the time to reach 100 with this Firmatic all-wheel drive. There are actually various petrol and diesel inline 6 engines available right now. There will be a V8 engine with a mild hybrid system as well. Of course, there is a plug-in hybrid coming, and there are AMG versions coming, so stay tuned for that also. And that is pretty much it when we talk about the new S-Class, a real demonstration of what Mercedes is capable of doing and what technology is available, when we talk about the car industry. So this is for sure going to be available in some other Mercedes models, throughout the next few years. So that's always what Mercedes does. So the S-Class comes out and it's got the whole bunch of new systems, and then slowly the rest of the crew, Mercedes crew, get those systems as well. So there is actually a rumor that the C-Class may look very, very similar from the inside to this. So I can't wait to see how that looks, and actually we're not gonna need to wait much longer actually. Anyway, enough of spoilers. Let me show you the specs of this car. So the Firmatic limousine, and this is actually the Lange, so the long wheelbase version. And we do have the price here. So this is the price with all the taxes and all the equipment that we have here. I'll put the euro amount, of course, and also I will show you now the list of options. And the list of options is a pretty big one, so this is just page 2 out of 4. Here is the page 3. You can of course pause the video if you want. And finally page 3, so only the augmented reality, MBUX augmented reality is the extra on this page. But now, enough of the specs, let's take a final look at this beauty. Tell me in the comments, what do you think about the design? What do you think about this new technology? What do you think about some of the trends, such as the big touchscreen, such as these door handles? Do you agree with me on the touchscreen that it is actually step up and that you can get used to it? Also, maybe you think that these door handles are the best part about the S-Class. I don't know. Tell me in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. Do subscribe to the channel in order to see more car reviews and car videos, and see you on the next video. Bye bye.